Well, since I've already done my review on the Philadelphia story, well, it's time for me to do a review on Lily this time, starring Leslie Caron. Start the intro. Hi guys, this is Jonathan, the Disney and Tom and Jerry fan 2020 here, and today I am going to do a review on Lily, that came in the year of 1953. It's basically what the plot's about. You got this naive country girl named Lily, who was played by Leslie Caron, who arrives in a provincial town in hopes of locating an old friend of her late father, only to find that he died. And then the local shopkeeper offers her employment, then tries to take advantage of her, and she is then rescued by a handsome, smooth-talking, womanizing cardboard magician named Mark, whose stage name is Marcus the Magnificent. And then she becomes infatuated with him and follows him to the carnival where on learning that she's 16, and then he helps her get a job as a waitress. And then Lily ends up being fired on her first night when she spends time watching the magic act instead of waiting tables. And then she consults the magic for her advice, and then he tells her to go back where she was. And then later on, she becomes very homeless and heartbroken, and then unaware that she is being watched by the carnival's puppeteer, Paul, who is played by Mel Ferrer. And then he strikes up a conversation with her through his puppets. She meets a brash red-haired boy named Carrot Top, a sly fox, Ronaldo, a vain ballerina named Margaret, and a cowardly giant named Gollo. And a large group of carnival workers is enthralled watching Lily's interaction with the puppets, and she is seemingly unaware that there's a puppeteer behind the curtain. And then Paul and his partner Jacket offers Lily a job, and then she accepts it, and then she becomes the most valuable part of the act. And then he was once a well-known dancer, but then sadly he suffered from a leg injury in World War One, and then he regards the puppet show as far as inferior, which which embitters him. And then she refers him as the angry man, even though he falls in love with her. He can only express his feelings through the puppets, and he fears rejection due to his physical impairment. And then he keeps his distance by being unfriendly to her. And then she continues to dream about the handsome magician wishing to replace his assistant Rosalie. And then soon Marcus becomes an offer to perform at the location casino and decides to leave the carnival to the joy of Rosalie, who announces to everyone that she is the wife. And then Lily become heartbroken, and then she innocently invites Mark to her trailer. His lecturer's plan is being interrupted by Paul, and then he leaves. And then when Lily finds Mark's wedding ring in the seat cushions and try to chase him, Paul stops her and calls her a fool and then slaps her. And then two imposauros from the Paris who have been scouting the show to see Paul and Jacket. They recognize him as a former dancer and tells him that his act with Lily and the puppets are ingenious. And then Paul becomes ecstatic about this and the offer. But Jacket tells the agents that they'll have to let them know. And then he then tells him that Lily's leaving. Lily takes the wedding ring to Mark and tells the story of every little girl has to wake up from her girlish dreams and has decided to leave the carnival. And then when she leaves, she's stopped by the voices of Carrot Top and Reynaldo, who asks her to take them with her. And they embrace her. And then she finds that they were shaking, and then it turns out that it was Paul all this time. Instead of telling her how he feels, he tells her of the agents, and she confronts him about the difference of his real self, seemingly incapable of love within his puppets, and he tells her he is a puppet and a creature of many facets and many flaws, and he concludes her, this is business. And she walks away by telling him not anymore. And then when she walks out of town, she imagines that the puppets are now life-size and has now joined her. And she dances with each puppet. And then after that, Lily runs back to the car and into Paul's arms, and they kiss passionately, and then the puppets applaud. And that's basically what the plot is for the film. What do I think about this film? This is an absolute classic, guys. I mean, this is a great MGM classic, and it's also one of my favorites of all time. I mean, Leslie Caron did a great job with her role, and Mel Ferrer and Jane Pale Almond and Kurt Cosner and Zaza Gabor and the rest of the actors and actresses. They were excellent, and I thought the puppets were really interesting, and the plot was interesting and clever. I thought Lily was a likable character, and the puppets were likable, and I thought the songs were cheery. And the director, who's named Charles Walters, he did a good job with this film. I mean, he was the right choice as a director, and he made this film, and it became a great classic. And I thought the ending was very good. She runs back to Paul and then kisses him and passionately, and the puppets applaud, and I thought it was interesting. And when she dreams, I thought it was pretty interesting. So yeah, I thought the acting was good, the plot was good, the directing was good, the songs were good. I thought everything about this film was good, and it's a real classic. And if you haven't seen it, it's a great movie. I recommend that you do. So above all, do I have anything negative to say about it? Um No, I do not. So for my final rating for Lily, I give this movie a 7 out of 7. Outstanding film. And that, guys, was my review on Lily from 1953. Alright, guys, thanks for watching this video once again. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to me. This is Jonathan, the Disney and the Tom and Jerry fan 2020 here, and I'll see you guys next time on my next video, and I'll see you guys later.